This is a tutorial for how to install these Deck Man lag bolts. It's for a cable railing. It comes with these lag bolts on the sides, and then you have to purchase the wire separately that goes in between. The great thing about the Deck Man lag bolts, is they come with both left hand and right hand lags. And the convenient thing about this is they spin in the exact same direction, so you don't have to worry about your wire, your cable, getting bound up. You see here in this diagram here, they spin. They show you how they spin in the exact same direction to prevent binding. They also give you this handy little tool here, which allows you to get close to the lag bolt, which has flattened sides on it. When you get close, you can put it around there and tighten or loosen. They also give you a drill bit. It's very important to pre-drill your holes. Getting back to these, I found an easier way than using the supplied wrench is to take your cordless drill, insert it like so, tighten it up. This is the left hand side, so we'll put it, after I pre-drilled my holes, this is going to be on an angle, so I'm going down steps. I would actually put on the loose setting, and as you loosen, it tightens in. Alright? So you take that back off. Get a right hand one. Put it in. And this time we're going to tighten it in, and it's spinning in the same direction as the one that we put in at the top. After installing all of your lags, you take a measurement between the bits. I like to take an inside measurement from the inside to one lag to the inside of the top lag, and my measurement was roughly 56 1/4. I add an inch for both sides because there is space inside the lag to guide your wire in. I bought a spool of wire, big spool of wire, and using an angle grinder with your carbide bit, I cut the wire, but it frayed a little bit when you cut it. So I like to use just a simple pair of pliers and just crimp it a little bit to make sure it's nice and flat. And after I do that, I'll take that angle grinder again, and I just soften the edge . Give it like a tapered end, so that when we insert it into our lag, it slides right in. Do the same thing down here. See? Added an inch on both ends, so that gives you plenty to insert into your lag. However, you can see here, there's no tension. Alright? So I just went to my local hardware store and picked up a set of these crimpers. And placing it placing it around the lag. You get a nice crimp. So now that that end is crimped, we still have too much flex. So we'll take out as much of the tension as we can, or try and get as much tension as we can, by pushing what excess we can with pliers into the lag bolt. Putting our crimper on it again. We now have a good secure connection, and that wire is not coming out. However, still too much play. And this is the beauty of the design of these lags. The one at the top here is in the righty-tighty position, and we just spin that. I don't have enough room to use that wrench, so I have to use my pliers. But you want to give it a few tugs on one side, then you go to the other side, give it a few turns. Let's see, this one would go lefty-loosey so that we don't bind it. And it is not loosening it up, it is tightening it into the wood. Oh, I'm sorry. This one's right. That one's right. And this one is left. And if you do that, put a couple turns on it, we now have a nice taut line. There is no play, barely any, for a wire. I also wanted to mention that these are all equally spaced at 3 3/4. Code is 4 inches apart, so we want to make it a little tiny, smaller than that, just to keep the man happy. So they're 3 3/4 inch apart. Now I wasn't going to measure every one of these, go straight down the center, have a bunch of pencil lines and all over the place, so I created a jig for my 6-inch post that was evenly spaced, and it goes to the center, and when I would put my dot for my point, I'd line it up, put a dot down here, line that one up, put a dot down here, so that everyone is perfectly spaced using a homemade jig out of a piece of cardboard. And I have some 4-inch posts, and I made a different jig for a 4-inch. Just little tips, make the job go smooth. But when it's all done, you have this beautiful nautical tight wire. It's very fashionable, looks great. So good luck with your project. Hopefully I've mentioned some things that you can use in your home build. Oh, here's another thing I did. I wasn't going to measure the wire every time, because that would be a little too tedious. I used a piece of blue tape. I put a line on it, and I measured the distance, put another piece of blue tape, put a line on it. And so that way my wires were exactly the same size, and I didn't have to measure it every time. I just put the beginning end down there, bring the wire over here, put a little tick mark on it, and then I'd use my angle iron to cut it. So that's another little tip, just to help speed along the process. So again, good luck with your project. Hope you found this video informative. And if you are looking for this product, which I'd fully endorse, it is Deck Man. I picked it up off of Amazon. Very inexpensive. Similar grommets that have a toggle on them that my neighbors purchased. They're a little more ornate. They have like a ball and toggle fitting. They were $13 a piece, not a pair, a piece. And his project, just that part alone, he had $1,000 easy just into these little turnbuckles and toggles on the end, where these did a better job, I think. They give it a much better, cleaner, streamlined look. I think I purchased a whole box of, well, here you go, 30 pairs, that's 60 pieces. I think it cost me $20 for the box, and it came with the drill bit and a pliers, and a wrench. So, good luck with your project, and let me know what you think. Alright, take care.